What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers?
Hey,
Look, we got a party here. We got a whole
What
bunch of people. Welcome to the Lured Up Podcast Creator Roundtable PvP edition, and we have a room filled with party people here, and we're gonna have a good old time talking some PvP, talking about content, talking about the process. And I'm really psyched about the panel today because we have a very, very diverse panel from trainers to coaches to content creators to tournament organizers to just shenanigans on the panel today. I'm very, very excited, and I'm hopefully the vocoder will come out soon. But let's talk about our panelists. First, we have the battle hero himself, Vange, looking very good with his.
Hey guys, I'm on vacation.
JFarm is here. What's up, dude? How are you?
What's up, brother? How are you, man?
I'm excited that you're here. Thank you so much for being here. ScrubLordDustin.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And he has paper crafts on his wall.
Yeah, these are the various personas I become.
Luckey is here. Ali, hi. How are you?
Hello, an honor.
Thank you so much for being here. We have DeFi. I'm very excited about DeFi. She's a part of my actual community, and it makes me very, very happy that you're here. Thanks so much for being here, DeFi.
Hey, and I'm honored to be here too. Thanks for having me.
All right, we got Speediest Chief. What's up? How are you?
Hey, thanks so much for having me on.
It's a sexy mic setup, dude. It looks
Boom
good.
mic, you know.
It looks good. HouseStark is here. I'm very excited. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well, and your virtual background is so real. It's the coolest. It's the coolest thing. Look how cute Gengar is. Caleb is here with a look. I don't know. This might take the cake for the best virtual background. So hopefully you guys are watching this in video form because the virtual backgrounds are lit AF right now. Caleb, how are you? Thank you for
good.
being
How
here.
are you?
Good, man. Good.
Good to be here.
That you're here. Awesome.
Yeah.
Next, we got TrainerRem. What's up, my dude? How are you, man?
I'm doing fine. Just thirsty as hell right now. I don't know why.
Stay hydrated, friends.
Oh, same.
And we look at the background here. This is from this. You said an original Stitch shirt or just some
It's original Stitch. It's hold on. Look, you can see the whole thing. There you go.
Wow, dude, that's actually really nice.
That's dope. It's Marie.
I have coconuts.
If you feel like spending $100 for a shirt, and you weren't lucky enough to be one of the creators sponsored this past 2 weeks ago, get a Marie shirt. There you go.
RamblingRabbit is here. How are you, man?
Hey, doing pretty good. How are you guys?
All right. You know what? Why don't we start with you, man? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? We'll go around the room, kind of get to know everybody, and then we'll talk some PvP. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yep. So I'm RamblingRabbit, also known as Cody Miles by my real name. I am community outreach for Go Stadium. So I'm the guy behind the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, and helping putting together our streams and things like that. So that's me.
Excellent. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you being here. I think that you're going to have a unique perspective here from someone that is, may not have the same, actual activity and living and the way they experience PvP because it's so diverse. I think that your point of view is going to be welcomed here. So thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks.
TrainerRem, why don't you introduce yourself, man? Let us know who you are.
How's it going, guys? My name's TrainerRem, full name TrainerRem, full real name Remy Combs, and I am from Michigan. I am one of my tournament organizers in my local area, along with many others. And I stream a little bit of PvP every now and again. I used to make videos for YouTube, but my MacBook no longer has space, so I can't make videos for now, but I'll be back. I'm usually more on Twitter, so.
Yes, dude, that's something that we'll talk about here today is the fact that you could be a creator on a specific platform, but you kind of have to be everywhere. And it's something that makes, this process very difficult for a lot of people. So we'll talk about that. Caleb, welcome to the show. Why don't you introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about you?
Yeah, for sure. So my name's Caleb Peng, and my real name's also Caleb Peng. So right there. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I mostly make YouTube videos. I've done like one stream on Twitch before, but that's pretty much it. And mostly make anti-meta videos just because I'm usually bored of using the meta and I'm just really bad at it too. So that's pretty much me. And then if you haven't seen my videos, I love cats too. And I have cats in the background. So gotta throw on the cat for the backdrop for this one.
The cat is perfect right now. The placement is like, it was meant to be. It's just like, yes,
Definitely.
I waited my whole life for this. HouseStark, what's going on, man? How are you? I think you're muted.
Yeah. I was just
There you
muted
are.
to make sure I wasn't making any extra noise.
Look at that, man. On top of the production. I appreciate you. How are you, man?
I'm good. My name's HouseStark, also known as Alex. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'm just a battler. More than anything, I'm on Twitter a lot, and I started making Twitch videos a few months ago, and I'm a coach along with Caleb over at Go Stadium.
Excellent. I definitely want to get into that a bit too. Speediest Chief, how are you, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on.
Yes.
I'm Speediest Chief. I live in Tampa, Florida. My friends call me Speedy, but my real actual name is Will. So if you didn't know that. It's
The amount of people I only know by like trainer name or Discord name. We did last year. I did a podcast get together at GoFest in Chicago, and we literally had the "Hello, my name is" stickers, and you would write like your real name and your Discord name and your trainer name, so like people could put like all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's like, that's usually how it goes down.
For sure. Well, I upload primarily on YouTube. I did my first video after last year's regionals competition in the Sylph Arena, and then I started to upload more frequently. And I'm thinking about maybe exploring Twitch. I know we're going to get into a little bit more about how the streaming differs from YouTube and everything like that. It's really interesting, and I see the streamers popping up everywhere, and it's really cool. But for right now, just YouTube for me.
Excellent. DeFi, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. Why don't you let our community know who you are?
Hey, DeFi 250, DeFi for short. My name is Stephanie. I started doing PvP season 1, and just as a fun way to hang out with friends, got invited to regionals, what I think was a fluke in that like second round of invites, got my ass kicked hard. And instead of turning me off to PvP, that got that lit a fire under me, and I just I want to get good, I want to learn, I want to come back next season, and I want to take some names.
Yes. So, take them. Yes.
So I started recording my matches, and what started as kind of just personal reflection for me, I started putting those out on YouTube. And about a month ago, I started doing Twitch streams, because now that I'm home a lot more, I started doing that. I love that. I got freshly Twitch affiliated. And another thing I love doing is just encouraging people, especially other women, because you look at on the platform, not too many women on there. And I just want to encourage people. You don't have to know all the breakpoints. You don't have to memorize all the matchups to just get out there and play and have a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yo. All right.
That's what I'm about.
Hell yeah. I'm down. Allie Luckey, how are you? Thanks so much for being here. Short notice. I appreciate you for jumping on. I really do.
Of course. So I'm Allie Luckey, also known as Allie Luckey. And I don't know, I just started I'm from New York. I just showed up to a Boulder Cup tournament back in the very beginning of 2019. And I was just there, and it went okay, and then I just kept battling, and I felt like I didn't talk to anyone. I was just scared, and I was 17. I just showed up, and then I went to regionals, and then I lost, and then I went to Chicago, and then I won wild card, and then I went to Worlds, and then people were post on YouTube. I was no. And now it's quarantine, and I have a lot more time on my hands, and King posted my video, and I was oh wow, maybe I could put myself out there, and then I did. So I started posting on YouTube and streaming on Twitch, and it's been amazing, and everyone's just so welcoming, and it's been awesome ever since. So yeah, I just like PvP and stuff, and it's fun time.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you so much. All right, ScrubLordDustin. Now, all right, I gotta tell you something here. You've become my Twitter spirit animal a bit, and like I don't know, man. I see some of the stuff on your feed, and I'm just like, bro, this guy gets it.
Yeah, sometimes I'm laying in bed and I think of something, and then I completely wake up and edit something together. It's fun stuff.
Well, why don't you introduce yourself and who are you?
My name is Dustin. One night I found JFarm on the street corner, and I made him into the person that he is today.
All right.
On YouTube, we have Twitch, we're on Twitter, and yeah, just like content creators having fun with PvP, and actually doing pretty good this season. I dropped 150 elo today, but John went up like 150, so that feels good.
Well, the relationship is real, man. It's fantastic. I just you guys riffing on each other is absolutely hilarious. But JFarm, how are you, man? Welcome to the show.
Great, man. How are you?
I'm excited that you're here.
I'm excited to be here.
I think that it's funny that the whole time we were getting ready to record and the whole time we were like, just warming up and setting our mics and lighting and stuff, he's just like, Dustin's fucking around with like backgrounds and stuff. He's like, dude, you can't show him how to do this shit because he's just going to keep doing it.
Any shenanigans, he will take advantage of at any moment in time, all right?
Well, that's good. That's good. We want that. We want that. But thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Yeah, I'm JFarm. That's what people usually call me. Normally it's JFarmakis. But we just stick with JFarm. Content creator, Twitch streamer, the whole nine works. That's pretty much it.
Nine works a lot.
All right, and the cool guy in the palm tree.
That's my homie.
What's up, man?
What's up, Ken? I'm excited. You're excited that everybody's here.
Dude, it's great. I'm really excited that everybody's here. How are you, man? I'm so glad we hooked up.
I'm doing great. Yeah, finally.
I know.
The thing is, I've probably been the only person in this lineup that has been on your podcast before, but has failed at doing so.
Dude, I think it is true. But look, we recorded an episode and there was a bad audio fuck up, and we couldn't use the episode.
He's being super nice. I messed up. I messed up recording the audio. That's why.
It was. It was funny. I was laughing when in the chat earlier because you were like, "Do I need to record anything?" I'm like, "Nah, bro. Just show up. You're good. You'll be absolutely fine." But all right. So we have a crew here, man. Tell me, Vange. Tell us about your channel.
I'm Hero Vange. My in-game name is Battle Hero. My YouTube channel is Hero Eats. I have a mukbang channel, and I'm currently in the Philippines, the beautiful Philippines. I'm about to eat that coconut and for my mukbang channel. And I do pizza on the side.
Like, comment, and subscribe, y'all.
What are we eating today?
Smash that like button. Smash the subscribe button.
I'm hitting that bell.
Yes, hit the bell multiple times just to make sure it works. All right, so we have an itinerary of stuff to talk about here today, and I've got some topics, and I think that it would make for some really good conversation, and we can kind of get everyone's point of view, and we'll try to do our best to manage a room. Like, let's see, how many people do we have in here? I don't know, 9, 10, 11 people. So we got 11 people. That could be fun sometimes to not talk over each other, but I welcome that and the shenanigans that come along with trying to get a point across, especially if you have a conflicting view as another panelist. So we welcome that stuff, have fun with it. But we got some topics here, so I'll run through them. And I want to start with something that we've already even touched on, and that's YouTube and Twitch, or for lack of a better way to put it, video on demand, published videos, produced videos versus live streaming. And that's something I definitely want to talk about because it seems that with quarantine and actually with the nature of PvP and the ability to connect with community and produce PvP content is kind of lent itself to streaming. So I want to get, a take from people that stream exclusively and then people that produce content exclusively. But Ali, let me start with you because, I don't watch a lot of streamed content per se, but when I started watching your stuff, someone recommended me to you. And when I started watching, I was like, oh shit. Like she has the ability to kind of put this all together and make this a complete package and it's such a departure from produced video content. What is it about streaming to you that kind of like, you wouldn't be able to do what you did on a video platform, right? It has to be on a streaming platform, right?
I make videos and stuff too. I know I don't like watching Twitch. I just don't like it. I like watching YouTube. I watch YouTube all the time. And some people like Twitch so much better. They love the interactivity of it and stuff. So they're definitely very different audiences. Like some will carry over, but I think it's interesting how I can bring personality to both. I personally like streaming a little better, I think, because I like interacting. I like hanging out. I like vibing. I like music. Of course, I can't have fun music anymore.
I've watched your streams multiple times. I love it. I really, really enjoy watching Coconut. I really, really enjoy watching your streams.
So Vange,
maybe like 3 times now or 4. Right?
But now have you done streaming before?
I tried it.
But you're mainly doing produced content, right?
Yep, YouTube.
So it's like a totally different vibe, right? To have to script and verbalize in real time, because I think that's the big difference between produced video content and streaming. Is like when you're streaming, you got to be going. Like you just have to,
The thing is, for my mukbang videos, I can't really script anything, right? No, but really, I don't script English anything in my videos. I kind of just have like a rough outline and then I go, right? The problem with the streaming is that here in the Philippines, right? The internet cables are all wrapped up in, coconut trees. The internet here sucks. Right. And so, I got to the point where I was at like 400 concurrents for like a different game. And I was getting like a good amount of views. Like I think I feel like I could have hit partner at the time, but I couldn't sustain it because there would be like a point in time, like when 8 o'clock hits and everybody's on the internet, my stream would just disappear. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
It's down again. And then I have to call the internet people and coconut. Yeah. So it didn't work out. Yeah.
Now, Dustin, I want to come to you next to talk about the difference between like information that is definitely required with PvP talk, because there's just so much fucking info that you have to kind of be in the know to understand and be able to consume the content a certain way. You need to know what the hell's going on. But then at the same time, there can be difficulties in making that entertaining. Now, I think that balance is super important when it comes to such a data-driven form of content.
Of course.
But then making it entertaining. Like what's your approach? Because I know that I'm highly entertained by your content, so that's why I figured I'd come to you first, because you're having fun, right?
Yeah. That's a good question, but just the first question, I was gonna chime in and answer and say something. Just the fact that Twitch streams and YouTube content can go hand in hand. Me and JFarm have been working very efficiently to stream while also recording, and in fact, we've actually, like, our audience kind of knows this now. Where we'll tell our audience that, like, okay, everybody, like, get ready, we're gonna record a YouTube video, and everybody kind of like just chills and hangs out and watches us record a YouTube video. But anyways, I feel like you gotta like really like the game. Like you really gotta like PvP, because I wasn't the greatest at first. I think I got a little bit better since I stopped doing self-rated stuff. No offense. but I think I sometimes just go down PvPoke and I kind of like skim for information, and I skim for like what new Pokemon we should feature or what new Pokemon is like the best lead, and it is really entertaining thing to do, and it gives me a lot of knowledge. And I guess when me and John are recording, I'm just I don't know, I'm just kind of being myself, but also like got that knowledge back there. If that makes sense.
Way back there.
So J Farm, is it hard to is it hard to reel him in?
Ken, you have no idea.
Well, no. It's hard to reel him in sometimes.
All right,
sometimes he gets overboard. I have to be like, John, stop.
Anyways, no, I really like the way Dustin would explain the fact that Twitch and YouTube can go hand in hand. YouTube is more of a edited platform. You try to get things to look a lot better produced and whatnot. But Twitch is the same kind of ordeal. But if you want to ever do both, right? We kind of like the way we do. We tell our audience like, hey guys, like now we're recording our video on Obstagoon, right? And then that kind of gives them an opportunity to see how we do what we do. We kind of give them like the inside scoop, the behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean? And then
that's amazing, and you know that's really cool, because not only are you providing a service to your fans, but from a production standpoint, you're also making exceptional use of time.
Yeah, we're killing 2 Pidgeys with 1 Geodude.
Bro.
Oh my
God.
Come on, it's funny. We can laugh. It's a good one.
Oh God.
But that's, you know, like I watch a lot of video content from Kinda Funny. They're like this, you know, content troupe out of San Francisco, and they do the same thing where they'll offer like a live version of their show, and then ultimately that will become the produced video and also the produced podcast, but they also have a live element, but they're doing it all at the same time. So you're like, you know, it's just a great use of time. I know pretty much the bane of every content creator, and I'm sure everyone on this panel to some degree, is time, right? Like if we had more time to be more creative or to do cooler things, like, you know, things would be different. But like, who the fuck has time? Like, no one has time. So
nobody got time.
No, ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, there's coconuts.
It's all about efficiency, right?
Yeah, I get that. And when you're making videos at the same time as streaming, I think that's eureka. It's like eureka, because that's that good stuff. But so I think the content is flourishing right now in the PvP world, and I believe a lot of it has to do with the accessibility of PvP at large right now. And I think that all boils down to this reduced friendship thing. And I think the reduced friendship thing is become the normal, but we know that it's going away, or do we not know that's going away? And like, from a creative perspective, I always worry here, because I'm like, it's like, oh shit, people are doing all this battling and all this stuff because they have just fucking access to it. But what if they have to start walking 15K a day to do the same amount of battles? How is that going to affect the consumer market of people that are into PvP if they're not doing that much PvP anymore? So like, started getting my head going. So from a creative perspective, Rem, we'll come to you. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about like what that could mean? Like when, like how would you and your community handle the feelings of going back to ultra friend remote battles, or talking, you know, having to walk 3K to get a set of 5?
We legit complained about it like yesterday. We were talking about if it's 3 kilometers, that's not that bad. But even then, like, it's like if they removed everything that they'd done for the quarantine, like made everything so accessible for everybody, and then just took it away when everything was quote unquote safe again, then people would be upset. And probably, I'm not even gonna lie, I think that like the Twitter gods of PvP are just gonna like rage at Niantic. Niantic's gonna be like, okay, so we'll give you guys a simplified, or like kind of like a dumbed down version of it, so you guys can still enjoy PvP, but it'll still like you'll still have to kind of work for it a little bit. But even then, like you said, it might actually decrease the amount of people that are into PvP right now. So
I don't know. I just think that it's a very interesting thing to think about. And Rambling Rabbit, we'll go to you, because as you know, being on the side of tournament organization and that scale, that thing that's had to scale so freaking crazily over the
And
past
so
couple
fast.
months. So like when you look at projections of growth that you guys have seen now with the amount of tournaments that are going on, how do you think that could be affected if this stuff goes back to ultra friend? Like the QR code thing, like there's a lot to
Right.
think about here when it comes to like promoting and managing large scale like remote tournaments.
Yeah, so Go Stadium was always done tournaments that lasted the whole month, but to get there you had to become ultra friends. And then right when the switch happened, we held 1,000-person tournament. We started with 1,000 people. Winner walked away with a cut of $1,000 because we were able to do it. We've held 3 team tournaments, or in our 3rd team tournament, where you have teams, Ken, that are participating.
Yep.
It's not possible. You take a process that goes from, I can make an announcement today, and we did this last night with Allie on our Twitch channel. We made an announcement last week that said Allie is going to be on our Twitch channel. She's going to be playing in a Sorcerer's Cup tournament, and we had 150 people interested in that tournament, and we had 100 people play in it yesterday.
Now, then knowing that with how amazing you can mobilize and do something like that in real time, I think that's fucking phenomenal for everybody's content. But when the whole ultra friend thing, like how can you be at scale when you can't pull that off? I think that there's going to be some pretty significant and fundamental changes that we just need to know, because the whole like, here's another 30 days, here's another 30 days.
Yeah.
That's like,
we're doing 30 days worth of content planning, where instead we could all be doing a year's worth of content planning.
Right.
You know, we could say, hey, in September we want to have JFarm in this big tournament structure for us, and JFarm sets that time aside. We can't do that, you know.
Yeah.
And that it will. No one wants to say it, but it will kill the community to a point where it'll be the niche again rather than the focus of the game.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what they actually do, because who knows what could actually happen. Now Speediest Chief. So I first kind of, you know, saw your presence online and everything with the big ass tournament in Florida. So I mean, I host a lot of tournaments for my local, you know, area as well, like physical tournaments. Obviously, we haven't done anything since, you know, since February, March or whatever. But from being someone that's put together these big ass tournaments, like how have you moved to do stuff more with remote tournaments, or like do you still have a vision of doing another big ass physical tournament?
Yeah, so it's actually a really interesting question. I was actually talking with some friends about this the other night, because we did a Sorcerer's Cup meta kind of analysis or discussion. And towards the end of the conversation, we kind of talked about how the large remote tournaments and the ease of accessibility, you know, battling good friends has become so, you know, so common that a lot of these tournaments are getting really centralized. You've got, you know, the big players like Go Stadium, Coliseum, Route 44 is doing big ones as well. And in reflecting on that, we talked about kind of local TOs and how they've been organizing tournaments since, you know, Boulder Cup in January, and how those kind of local TOs are kind of suffering. Maybe they aren't able to get the 8 or 9 people they need to do a ranked tournament. So it can be a little bit tricky trying to like keep the local scene alive while also having all these big tournaments kind of centralized. But I will say, I mean, Pokemon Go was founded on the social aspect. You would get out together, you would catch together, we raided together, you would do everything kind of like in your community. And Go Battle League is kind of a different kind of animal in that sense, because you do it all remotely. You don't have to meet with anybody. And Sylph Arena really kind of embodied that Pokemon Go community kind of aspect that I really enjoyed. I mean, the Mega Cup in Orlando is where I met ScrubLord and JFarm and a bunch of other guys. And it was just such an incredible experience to like see these people that you see online, just meet them in person. And of course, that's not going to happen right now because of the pandemic, but I really do hope that these big in-person tournaments come again. And Good Friends is a little bit of a detriment to that. I don't want to sidestep too much, but I did want to mention in terms of Twitch versus YouTube, HouseStark actually does a really good job of like blending his interaction with the Twitch stream versus actually playing. So that's one thing we didn't touch on. I just wanted to like mention it briefly. When I look at Twitch, I see interacting with people as being a big part of the stream, whereas if you just do a YouTube video, it's like its own production. I just wanted to get that out. I was sitting on that thought for a couple minutes.
Dude, I'm amazed that you were able to hold on to that so fucking eloquently. That was like perfectly said. But no, that's definitely true. And you know, HouseStark, I'll come to you next actually, because I did want to get the perspective from someone that has coached before, because there's a lot of people that are trying to be competitive in Pokemon Go PvP because they have this increased access to PvP. How has that been from someone that, you know, is concerned with finding people to, you know, that want to learn? I mean, there's a lot of people that are hungry for information, right?
Yeah, I think it's a really good point. There's a lot of people that like to be able to interact with the people that they're coaching, or that are coaching them, or whatever. So being able to battle them is nearly impossible if you have to get to Ultra Friends, right? But if it's just like you get to one heart and then you can battle, then you can hands-on kind of coach someone in person, like go back and forth, be like, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So I feel like that's one part that I think should be able to stay, because just the amount of learning you can do from just trying to go like hands off versus hands on is a huge difference. And I think overall, I really like the idea of like what Speedy was saying, like the idea of going in person, hanging out with like people in person is the mainstay of the game, because the people really make the game, not the game. The game doesn't make the people, you know. So I just lost my train of thought, but the main thing is, keeping the one heart will, I don't think it'll lessen the amount of people that show up to big tournaments, but it will help overall the game and coaching and like hands-on and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Caleb, I mean, what is in terms of your process of, you know, instruction, I guess you could put it, like what would, you know, how do you handle your style of creating content? Because I know I've seen a lot of people that were making Pokemon YouTube videos or content that wasn't PvP, and then they start to make PvP content and it just doesn't vibe because you have to have like this different approach. And I think that something that I see come through when I watch your stuff is just, I'm just so able to become a sponge and take the information in. I don't know what it is, man, but there's a secret sauce to your stuff, Giggity, that is like, that just puts the message, it makes the message very easy to digest. I mean, how does that work for you? Like there's the same thing. There's a lot of people that want information, right? Like it's just finding out how to deliver that to them in a way that, you know, they'll enjoy, right?
For sure, yeah. And I think if you watch some of my earlier videos, I definitely struggled a little bit with that. I think my first video was over an hour of me just rambling on one-time speed.
That's great.
Footage, so, and somehow Valor Ash actually watched all of it too before I even knew him. So props to him for that. But yeah, I think especially I haven't really done too much Twitch. For me, I really liked kind of curating the content, really editing it down, and I always ramble way more than I should. So my videos are always much shorter than the original product, but I think that's really been kind of my process and kind of building upon that every time and trying to figure out ways to kind of cut things together or lay out videos in a specific manner. And I think everyone has their own different styles too, and I think it works for people in different ways. But for me, I'm kind of very focused on like refining the content and so forth. So I think that's always been my approach. But I always enjoy other type of people's videos as well too, just because I was watching JFarmakis' video the other day when I was in the shower, and it was just a great thing to watch while seeing it in the back. And
Wait,
just
wait,
it's
hard
entertaining.
stop.
While it was in
Hey,
the
pause.
shower.
He watched it in the shower.
So I used to listen to music while showering, but then lately
J-Farm's voice is just so
I
much
did-
better.
I did a few lured up podcasts in the shower too. But,
Yes.
sometimes I just want some entertainment too. Not to say lured up podcast not entertaining, but I was like, let's switch it up a little bit. I want.
So
I
you're
saw J Farm's
entertained
face on
in
a
the
video.
shower by J Farm.
J Farm's face in the shower. Is that what you said?
So
That's what he said. I heard that.
And usually
No,
it's late
I'm-
at night too, so I'm always asking my wife, like, hey, is it
I'm-
okay if I listen to some music in the shower? She's like, yeah, sure, fine. I'll come out. She's like, I just heard a dude's voice in there the whole time. Were you even listening to music? I was like,
Who was that?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
a video.
Yeah, man,
was
don't worry about it.
I'm taking screenshots of the coconuts. I'm good for the shower now. I'm good. All
I
right,
cry in
so
the shower.
you-
And
So-
right quick, if I could, a note about Caleb's content, and I've heard this in a lot of places, is it's always broken down. We asked information versus entertainment. It's very entertaining to watch him, speak, watch him talk the way he speaks, and the cats come through. That's always very entertaining, but it's very informational. The way words, they're hard. But the reason you hear the Caleb Peng team
Very hard.
is because you're given exact instructions of what to do.
Yeah.
I hate
know.
Caleb's content.
Oh
It's the
god, I
worst.
know. He shapes the
I
meta,
hate it.
and then his teams like kill
It's
me, and
the
I'm like,
worst,
who did this? It's
Yeah, so-
Caleb.
So
all
Ken,
Caleb.
yeah,
It's all
Ken,
Caleb.
what's the line on cursing, by the way?
it's you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
So there was a top post on Reddit, and I don't know if Caleb saw it, where the guy labeled rage teams, and it was fuck this, fuck that,
I
fuck
saw that.
Caleb.
I saw that.
And so
I
and
saw
and,
that.
It's hilarious.
and that's what informational content should be. Exact directions. You're able to teach anyone anything because they know exactly what to do in every situation, even if they have no knowledge of how to count, what IVs they should have, or anything.
And that's something that I saw with DeFi, when watching your videos, and you would make specific meta videos. Now that's something common. People make videos, okay, here's the meta. But when I was watching your videos, it was like, here's my attempt at learning the meta in real time. Like, I'm going to try this. And like, once I started looking at that process, I go, oh my God, I can digest this so much better now, because it's not just drilling data. It's what Pokemon do I have? What can I possibly use? And how will that work out for me, like, as it goes? I mean, is that kind of what your approach is when you're doing these meta videos? Because I mean, that's what the difference with making such data-driven stuff, that's information, making it entertaining. I mean, is that in your thought process?
Is that going to me?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, because for me, like once you start spitting like the break points for me at people, like in the DPS, like that's kind of when my eyes glaze over. So
Right.
for me, I prefer to talk about my process, and like, this is my experience with the game. And to balance it with the entertainment, I like putting silly GIFs, whatever you want to call them, in the background.
Wait a second. Hold on. Hard. Stop. J Farm. GIF or GIF? GIF or GIF?
You can have a vote.
GIF.
GIF.
Dustin. Dustin.
GIF. It is GIF.
Ali?
GIF.
Sorry.
It's
GIF.
GIF.
Graphic.
GIF. All right.
Okay.
Are we all on the GIF?
I'm looking at HouseStark. He looks kind of like
He's like, it's a fucking GIF, man. I'm
What
telling
are you
you.
gonna say, HouseStark? Say it. I'll beat you again
I'd
at
say
GBL.
GIF. I say GIF. So like,
I say GIF too.
come at me, bro. Like, come on.
I
go.
googled
Get
this
out.
once.
I
The
said
creator
GIF.
said it's GIF, not
I
GIF.
Thank you. Thank
Oh
you,
my
Caleb.
God. No, but no.
Heard of a-
So
I've never heard of a graphic before.
But DeFi,
Draft room?
I definitely noticed that watching your content, because it was like, it seemed much more of like a very organic approach to tackling a meta, rather than just like, here's the fucking turn to page 5, here we go. It was a different kind of vibe. And then Allie, I'm watching your stream, I'm like, she knows every fucking move of every Pokemon, and like, she goes, she's probably gonna do this right now, boom, and then I'm like, yo, you're like very knowledgeable of movesets and typings. And I got to give it to you. When you're doing streaming and like stuff on the fly, is that hard to keep up with? Like, do you feel like a giant quiz show the whole time? Like,
it's mostly like the chat interaction. I'm really getting the hang of battling and then reading at the same time. I think that's the hard part that I'm getting better at. In terms of, I've just been playing Pokemon since I like learned how to walk. So the types are in there. They're in there. And then the moves, I don't know. You get it. I don't count and stuff. So that's where I falter. I'm a very touchy-feely type of person. So I just feel it out. It's a lot of intuition by me. So I guess it's just, yeah, subconscious.
no, well, that makes sense because it like you're able to like kind of plan 2 moves ahead. They're probably going to switch here and then do this or that. It's like, all right, she's laying it out, laying the train tracks out. I was like, that's fucking awesome. That's great. Now, JFarm, tell us about your process a little bit when it comes to, you know, your approach to splitting up entertainment and information. Like it's got to be a concern of every PvP creator.
So in any type of entertainment, it's always the entertainment aspect and then the knowledge aspect, right? When it comes to me and ScrubLordDustin, we're the duo. So we kind of like know exactly what we're doing, and we're always pretty much on the same page at 99.9% of the time. So when we are like, let's say live, and I'm doing my battle, I'm focusing, let's say about 90% on the battle, 10% on chat, while he's focusing 90% on chat, 10% on what's happening in the battles,
okay.
right? And then when we switch out, then it's very we change it up quite a bit, but that's pretty much it.
Chat likes me better though.
All right.
They like talking to me better.
We'll make a poll on tomorrow's stream.
All
right, I got a sidewinder here. Let's shift gears a bit, and I want to talk about esports. And I know it can seem like campy as hell to just be like fucking esports, Pokemon Go, brah, you know, like whatever. Look, the game has serious potential to have highly produced online content that people would watch on a global scale. We know that it could be there. We saw the numbers of people that were watching concurrently at Worlds last year. Like people will watch. Now, from the perspective of someone who's creating content and like in the trenches of this, does it make anything weird with what could happen if all of a sudden Play Pokemon were to like take in Pokemon Go PvP, and on the official Pokemon Twitch channel, they're showing Pokemon Go PvP? Like, how do you think that will affect your content? Like, how do you think that, you know, that could change the ebb and flow of what we're seeing right now on Twitch and on YouTube? Rem, what do you think about that?
Oh shit. I was like, he's gonna ask anybody but me, so I don't have to worry about that. But honestly, I'm just gonna give my opinion on what I think is gonna happen with because at Pokemon Worlds you saw that like they had the tournament, they had like a couple of different influencers, different streamers. Then you saw, you know, King and Poke AK and just a couple other people, and you see how that could work in like an actual tournament setting on like an official Pokemon platform, right? But the way that it's working right now, it just seems like it's a little bit too finicky to like become an official esport. Like before, when it first came out, like I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be huge, people are gonna be playing it like crazy. And then we see all these glitches, and then we see Go Bad League, and we're like, it's not ready. Like the way that Sylph works, it could work as an esport, but the way Go Bad League works, it can't be an esport right now. That's what I'm saying. So, you
know, that's interesting because we saw something happen in the Pokemon space. So like the TCG, the card game, right? Mm-hmm. So the card game itself has been part of the Play Pokemon series, the national circuit, the global circuit forever. And because they had to cancel all these events, for the first time in June, they're actually doing an online training card game tournament for the first time ever. So it's like things are moving to online platforms, but if the game can't function the way that it would if it was being played in a local setting or in a more controlled setting. That kind of makes that whole trajectory a little funky, because if the game can't perform. So we're gonna do a little segment here where we put on a tinfoil hat. That's kind of like my shit. I love rocking a tinfoil hat. So whenever I have PvP people, whenever I have their ear, I'm always just like, all right, if it was up to you, what would you add to the game? What do you think could improve PvP right now from a player's perspective, even from a fucking content creator's perspective? What do you think that the PvP at large could benefit from if you just could Thanos your way into a new feature or a new something? What would you like to see in the game? Let's start with let's start with Caleb. What would you like to see added to the game, just like Thanos?
For sure. I think my dream has always been 2v2 battles. So two players simultaneously battling two other people, because at that point, you can't be like, I lost the lead, so that's why I lost. You could pair up and figure out ways to counter different leads. Obviously, a lot of mechanics that need to be reworked and figured out on how that all works. And, of course, there might be lag and stuff on 4 people's end instead of 2 people's end. So there's things to work around that. So I think that would be, if there was a smooth enough platform for that, I think that would make things a lot more fun, because doubles would be really interesting to watch. You're also not just playing for yourself. So there's a lot of team aspect to it, which I've enjoyed in some of the kind of pseudo teams, team matchups that I have gone through, such as like through Go Stadium or PvP Arkansas, stuff like that. However, I would say the first thing that I think Niantic really should do is, I know they've partnered with other Pokemon Go content creators in the past, like Trainer Tips, Mystic 7, stuff like that, but they haven't, to my knowledge, had any formal partnership or sponsorship with a PvP content creator. And I think that will be an important first step to really have kind of a pulse on the ground of the community, because I'm sure some people in Niantic do play the game and do PvP, but to be able to communicate with the content creators that could kind of really vouch for their player base and suggest certain changes, or really work through some of the glitches or some of the potential imbalances they see in the game, can be really huge for the development of the game. Because I think earlier today, we don't have to go too detailed into it, but there was a little controversy, and a lot of people provide feedback for Niantic, and they quickly went and addressed the issue. And I think if they had a content creator kind of talking into your ear about this kind of stuff too on a more regular basis, I think that could really be huge on addressing a number of issues and really helping PvP become official esport, in my opinion.
Interesting. And that's a great point, because I've seen the like Niantic work with a lot of creators, and I'm fortunate to be in this group of international creators that have Niantic's ear, and it's a great, awesome fucking relationship. But there is segments in the game that are underrepresented in our group. So it's like, yes, I agree with you. I think that having someone involved from a PvP perspective is for sure would be the right way to go, and I could only imagine that happening. So that's very interesting. JFarm, what about you? Anything added to the game? What do you add? What do you change?
I would say my number one thing would be brand new servers. Like, straight up. Like, you need to take Go Battle League and you need to go into individual servers, right? Just like Call of Duty, just like what's it called? What's that game? That cartoon game, like Fortnite. That's the one. PUBG, all that stuff, right? You need individual servers for things to be running smoothly, right? And then that's why those games have become esports, because they've hit all the right. They've hit basically all the right steps to make it, and then Niantic if Niantic wants it to become an esport, it's all up to them, right? It's whatever they want to put out into it is what they'll get out of it. So if I was to add one thing into it, I would definitely just say brand new servers.
Clip that shit.
Send it.
That's so funny.
Everybody
That's so
working
funny.
Niantic.
Yeah. Vange, what about you, man? Probably have some technical, either have a technical answer or coconuts.
Technical answer. better management
Oh shit.
was good. No. But seriously, I think a practice mode where you don't have to worry about your rank, that would be really good. Amazing for content as well. And I think that with the way that it is right now, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep, right? And this is coming from the guy who knows all the break points and bulk points, right? And yet still has the lowest rating out of all the people here. And it just needs more stuff. Status, effects. I don't know. Actually, I don't even know if I want to complicate my life that much, but I feel like it would make the game a lot more interesting.
Well, think about something like adding the
abilities,
sleep effect, right? So the sleep effect, the way that could translate into Pokemon Go is we're already functioning on a turn-based counter ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, okay, if I use sleep and it procs on you, then for the next 10 turns you get a modifier in speed or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, or you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, you lose one
is half the
every
game.
other fast attack.
No, 10 moves. That's what I mean. Not 10 seconds.
So you're advocating for lag to become a feature?
No, just saying.
Status effect.
With status effect. No,
man.
it was super effective. The lag
Pokemon use
was
Roar. You're disconnected from the game.
He's just coming back.
What about mechanics, DeFi? Anything you'd add to the game mechanically? You do Sword and Shield too.
Yeah, and I'm agreeing with everyone else. You got to fix the servers. And so servers is my number one. Number two, I agree with Vange about the practice mode.
Oh,
Like
I
when
thought the management. Oh my God! Don't do that to yourself.
No, the practice mode. When I saw you tweet that out,
I have a mukbang channel, so I don't really care.
Okay, when I saw you tweet that out, I was 100% in agreement with that, because I see so many people get so worked up and exhausted playing Go Battle League, playing this game, because they get so frustrated and angry when their rank goes down. And like I'd play all day if there was a practice mode. You wouldn't have to have like the same kind of rewards, like maybe no Pokemon rewards. Maybe you just get like a tiny amount of Stardust for doing the practice. But I think that would be really fun.
But Ram, I'm not gonna lie, I like watching your shit when you get all fired up.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to interrupt DeFi, but actually, can I mention what I think should be added to the game?
Hell
bit?
yeah, man! Go
Yeah,
ahead.
do it.
Okay, so the thing that I think should be added to the game is we're not talking about like the same like 4 move sets. We're not talking about that, because I've seen so many people go like, maybe you should be like the regular handheld game, and I'm like, no. Pokemon Go is different. It needs to be fast paced. Like we're not going to be like spending 15, 20 minutes doing a match. So what needs to be added, I think, is something similar in that you can have a hint of what they have on their team instead of there being blind battles, because that's another huge thing where legit everyone can like kind of guess what they're going to see. They're like, okay, so if I go with, let's say, 3 Charmers, there's a chance I'm going to see a Poison type or a Steel type in the team. And then the first thing you see, fucking Venusaur, fucking Registeel. And it's like what's the point of having like a team that you want to run if you're just going to be hard countered by it almost every single time?
But
So,
I think everyone can agree that going to the show 6 pick 3 would be the optimal format, right? Like, everyone agree on that?
I think that would reward. Sorry, go ahead.
No, dude, go.
Okay. Yeah, that would definitely reward like the more skilled battlers, in my opinion, because like you look at some of the
100% agree. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you look at some of the like win rates on Sylph of like the top battlers. It's like 85%. Like though technical is like 90% or whatever. And then you look at Go Battle League and it's like 60% is like top. So that's just my opinion.
Sorry, can I just add something to what I wanted to say earlier?
100%.
And it's because you can actually see like, okay, this person has a possible of 6 Pokemon. They have to choose 3. All right, I have 6 Pokemon. Like you can see the different matchups. You can like pick and choose. Like, all right, if they bring this, that means they can't have blank in the back or whatever.
Yes.
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, those are all great points. And I think that it's important to hear from this group of, it's a good vertical slice of, realistic wants because, we're in the trenches of PvP every day. So it's like, we know how the game behaves. So we should be able to, figure out what it could need, but you can't move forward without servers. You can't.
Right. This is like the next
Ken,
step.
Yeah.
Ken, can I add something?
Of course.
All right, I'm sorry. So I remember I was having a conversation about this specific topic that I'm about to bring up, and I heard that actually you had this conversation on a previous episode with Alfindiel. Now, I think what needs to be added is more players. Now, when I say more players, that's not an easy task, right? We need a better way of cost to entry to PvP.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a significant reason why this is gonna be hard to become an esport.
Yeah, dude.
And there's a
100%
way.
agree with that. Make the
Rental
Stardust cheaper.
teams. Rental teams.
Rental
God,
team.
rental
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
You get
Rental
to pick your
teams.
Pokemon,
Or-
pick your team.
Oh
good to
my
go.
god, yeah.
Wait, okay. I need the floor at
I'd
some
be on
point.
that. I don't
Take
have
it.
any Stardust.
The floor
I'd
is
be on
yours.
All right, wait. First of all, with Caleb saying double battle, yes, and then I need triple battle right after double battle.
I'll be your
Are
third.
you asking for the game to crash completely?
No. After triple battle, and then it has to be gang battle, and then practice mode. Yes, because I've been doing theme teams lately, and I did a triple Porygon team recently, and everybody's been begging me to do triple Porygon team again. But I'm not doing that on GBL. I'm not dropping my ELO by 200 points to do triple Porygon again. But
It's for
I'm
the
surprised-
content, man. It's for the content, dude. It's for the channel.
One mechanic that no one said that I really want to see is Mega Evolution.
Dude, Mega Evolution, I feel like they have to have some way for that to be like cost efficient. Like you can't,
Yeah.
because like it'd be like watch it be like 50,000, 75,000 dust per evolution and like 75
Oh,
candy. It's
dude,
like
yeah,
I don't have
yeah,
75
per
candy
battle?
for-
Oh, like
Battle.
a
It's
one
like,
time,
dude,
like a consumable mega. Oof.
I mean, they
Yeah.
could do
There's
like
a
Sinnoh
way to-
stones, evolution stones, maybe, but
Evolution
Yeah.
stones.
I think
Oh,
the
man.
stones will become like almost like community day, where it's like,
Like a 24-hour cooldown, so you can only use it for like 4 battles, and then you have to wait it a day.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh man.
And
But
it
there's a
seemed
way
like-
to make all of that happen. Servers, new features, barrier
Servers.
to
cost
entry.
to
Dude, I thought you were
entry.
gonna say
There's a way to
management.
make all of those things happen, and it's something no one wants to happen, but it's the only way to do it. Take PvP off of the main Pokemon Go app.
Oh, fucking drop the what?
I mean, you take PvP out of the app, make it its own thing where it has stable servers. It's not, interacting with raids or anything else. It's just PvP. You can have all of this stuff going on. You have the rental teams. You can log in with your stuff and take Avies out of it. Just take them out. Because Avies don't matter until they do that one time, but you always remember that one time where they matter. So just take it out. Just say, I want to use Swampert. Let's go.
Like an arcade mode? No, but
Exactly.
rental teams would be the answer to that for sure.
Yeah, that would be. But take PvP and give us Pokemon Go PvP as a separate thing, so that way they're separate.
Even balancing like all Pokemon to level 50, in the main series or something like that,
yes,
like
thank
that. Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of balancing is something that, and again, these aren't Niantic mechanics. These are main series mechanics. Everything's a freaking process, like everything. So like I can only imagine those conversations of, hey, those systems that have worked in your games for, however many years, like we want to do that in our game. Like I can't imagine that being as easy as we'd want it to be.
That's a very, very difficult task.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
If you make it, let's just say Pokemon Go does become an esport, right? You're gonna have that 10-year-old kid who's gonna be like, I want to be like that guy, and you're gonna be like, good luck, kid. You're gonna spend a year to make your account level 40 to do it.
That's actually what I thought you were gonna say. Like, make the Stardust grind or basically like the team building a lot easier, because
Exactly.
it takes a lot to build, dude.
You need an easy year.
And there's a
before you can get into gold
physical
battling.
component to it, right? So it's a lot of sweat.
Yeah.
It would be nice if you could have like, let's say you have a talk stroke for Great League, and they just like level it up to level 40 for Ultra League or something like that. Like, I don't know, like you could scale down and scale up depending on.
Oh yeah,
The main series does that. That's
Smart. That's exactly what happens in the main series.
And like you could save so much time and a lot of like resources and like dust and all that stuff for every single person that has ever played the game. So.
I would
just
say,
buy the second unlock and then have it work for all the leagues.
Yeah.
And the issue with
Why are we
the
buying a
garage-
second charge move in the first place?
What else are you gonna do with the Stardust?
Dude, I don't know, but I have a lot of it, and it still hurts to spend it.
I don't have a Stardust.
No, but like, why should we have to buy a second move? like it should already be there.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it was like all 10,000 for a second move or something like make it a little bit cheaper. But
I think Pokemon Go is a really interesting opportunity in the areas of esports because if you look at most games, console games, PC games, you basically just kind of sit and play the game and try to get better and improve, and it's all just a big mental process. But I don't want to say it's like an athletic pursuit, but Pokemon Go does have like a physical component, which kind of makes it like an AR esport, kind of like physical, like hybrid kind of esport, which I think is a really interesting opportunity. In terms of two things to improve, my dream has always been AR battles. I didn't hear anybody say that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Man, I hope that actually becomes a thing.
Remember when I was like
Shadow
in
And it's
Ball
not
hitting
just
your opponents.
It's not just this. They're actually like, oh god.
Yeah, exactly.
With the
And the
glasses.
second thing I wanted to mention, I know we're like
Yes.
moving on from the topic. I just want to slide this in. We've been looking at this same patch of grass for like 6,000, 8,000 battles. Can we get like a stadium? Like go Battle League, we should be in an arena. You know what I'm saying?
I love that idea.
Like
Well,
how cool
sometimes
is that?
it rains and sometimes it snows. So
Yeah, rains.
there's that.
I mean, like
sure.
it should change. Or real quick before we go on, it should just change environments every time. Like if you're just
Sell
doing
skins.
like battle between friends, just like if like it could be like a sidewalk, it could be a road, it could be the gym, it could be literally anything. But like go Battle League, like you said,
Dustin's house.
Oh yeah. They should add more Pikachu hats, definitely. We could use a couple more.
Ali,
Crickets
what
off the
about
pod.
you from a stream perspective? Have you ever had like, do you do battles with your community like in real time?
Yeah, so I do viewer battles sometimes. I've only been on the grind for about a month. I've done about 3 sessions. As you said, the Ultra League thing would pretty much ruin that, so that's not great. And also when it comes to mechanics that I would change, I'm a simple woman. I kind of want to just press one button to switch my Pokemon. Like, yeah, that could cause problems if you like press it by accident, maybe put it in the corner. I don't know, but when it comes to like timing and catching moves and stuff, I always like somehow I press it and then it doesn't work. So I just want one button. That's my request for the day.
You know, I've heard a lot of people talk about that. Like, you know, they say, show me my Pokemon, you know, up by the hit points, up away from where I'm tapping. Show me their health. You know, show me, you know, what energy they have stored. You know, there's a lot of information to try to squeeze into the screen. But I've definitely heard from a lot of people that the interface itself could use a lot of help. You know, because just the whole switching out. You know, people having to bring up the Switch menu to get the quickest connection to their Switch. You know what I mean? Like it's, you know, it's not something that we should necessarily have to do. We have to like game off the system. I think the interface can definitely use.
Yeah, it's 2 taps.
Improvement.
It can be 1 tap.
Yep.
Yeah. If they show it like your Pokemon above you, you know, you could just quickly bring them in. Look at Dustin. He's slowly fading into Snorlax's belly.
Do
Look
you
Like
guys
X-ray
play
vision to the stomach.
other like competitive games? Do you guys play other competitive games?
Showdown, Pokemon Showdown.
Yeah, I play that
Showdown?
too.
Call of Duty Warzone.
Oh yeah.
It's such a bro.
I mean, do you guys think?
Is Animal Crossing competitive?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you
kidding me? Those turnip prices
about-
can be competitive for sure.
Gotta catch those sharks.
I've got
You
like
guys have a
7
5-star islands?
Do you guys think it holds up? Like Pokemon Go holds up to all the like mainstream esports stuff? Hype wise,
on
you know
its
they can pull off
best
some
day?
crazy shit, dude. Like Twitch streams, for MOBA games, like some insane. I don't understand what's happening, right?
Well,
It's just-
think of
like, right
Clash
now, it's not-
Royale. Clash Royale is not that exciting per se to watch,
Mhm.
but they have this framework of this massive esports structure. And in doing that, they kind of have built their identity of like, oh shit, yeah, they're esports. Like they just just acted as if like they were the fucking president, you know, like they just
remake it.
kind of went,
Yes.
And I just don't know if even looking at the production from Worlds last year, that still wasn't like a wow, you know, pow kind of like performance where it was like, oh shit, this production was phenomenal. We were watching it because the community was like fired up for what was going on. But you know, I think that they would have to do something with production to make it, you know, AR battles, man.
AR battles.
That would be a fucking game changer.
That would
I've
be the
already
wow
said it.
factor.
Give me
That would
the
be the.
Give me the
Hey,
cybernetic
boy.
eyeball. I want the cybernetic
I want to
eyeball.
see my Pokemon get their head ripped off or something. I don't know.
We do
Like,
have
bro,
the,
that's so real.
the
thing is-
Pokestop scanning. So
Pikachu getting stepped
That's
on.
crazy.
Yeah,
What? Look at these
Pokestop
graphics. These are
scanning.
crazy.
Pokestop scanning's in the game now. which
There's
is-
I was just thinking, right? I was about like how much they make Niantic, right? Versus like the actual like quality of the product. I feel like there's such a big imbalance there. You know, they make a ton of money, dude.
Where's it
A
going?
ton of money.
So
Doing the
they're
bare
a macro
minimum.
And
company.
you know, I play other
They
games.
are research.
I
Those
play
are
a,
the
I
AR
play a,
research.
oh,
That's
dude,
true.
if they're putting it into that, that's fine. But I play this other game, this anime waifu collector game. All right, okay. It has a PvP mode. It runs better than Pokemon Go.
Oh man.
What's it called?
$1 billion Guardian Tales, $1 billion game.
All right.
Right. And my
Shadow
waifu
Legends.
collector anime game runs better than that shit.
Hold on, I'm downloading it.
Yeah, somebody there look at that.
What's the name of this game real quick?
Guardian Tales.
I
Oh,
just want to make you keep saying it, Vange.
You know when I play Pokemon Go and I'm at that point where I'm like my hair is on fire, you know, my eyes are red, you know, I basically turned into a werewolf. I play other games to chill. Other competitive games. I play like Brawl Stars.
like apparel
I
for like a
get up-
palate cleanser.
Yeah, dude.
I suck
It's
here.
such a
I'm not gonna suck on the
frustrating
other one.
experience. And the gains, you know, right now they're necessary because of all the lockdown, COVID stuff, right? Do you guys still have lockdown?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Okay. So grind's not going that well. No, not the same as before, right? But you have to
Yeah.
keep up because Master League's coming up, right? So you need that grind, but it's not that great. Like the amount of frustration that you get versus how much you actually get, and then the amount that you need to build your team. There's I don't know. It's like a frustration factor.
The way the Stardust economy is structured is why I think show 6, pick 3 is never going to happen.
Yeah, dude.
Because then you're forcing everybody to have 6 Master League Pokemon, which a lot of people just have 3 they like to play with.
With double moves, yeah.
You can
Make it
have
God,
like
I hope they work stuff out.
bench threats.
and
Like,
and an
you-
issue with the go ahead, Allie. Sorry.
No, I was just thinking like it could be a really cool thing even if you didn't want to invest all the dust. You bring the 3 things that counter your main guys, and then your main guys have room to just play. Anyway,
That's the
continue.
next level.
But the issue with the Stardust economy, and we've seen it twice now in the game, and this won't affect Masters, but it'll affect the lower 2 tiers, are CP rebalances.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
How do they
dude,
do?
I
How can
hate
they do that? Well, how could they do
Please.
that?
Please.
Anymore?
power creep is going to become a thing. Just eventually. It'll have to happen. And our 300, 400, 500 Great League Pokemon are going to be useless.
There's no way.
Except that one tentacle that we all have that's like 1460. It's going to get...
that one tentacle.
Yeah, that one
Are we talking
tentacle's
about
gonna-
like our 50 legacy mons that we powered up to 1500 and then now they're all going to go over 1500?
That's exactly what's going to
And then
happen.
I'm going to go to Rampage and throw my phone out the window.
I will
That's the
cry
one.
in the shower.
I would riot.
R&B type music video just
Yeah, and Caleb's going to be crying in the shower to JFarm.
Making a video on it.
Loves company.
I wanted to add like another point that like they could add at some point. Have the ability to lock your Pokemon at that CP. That's what I wanted for a long time because then like
Man,
you
that would be
put it up
great.
to 1500 and then like it of course it stops you and asks you if you want to power it up again when you get 1500. It's like, okay, I don't want to power it up any further. What if you do by accident?
Yeah, don't even
Yeah,
take
like
me
a
to that.
Reddit.
Don't even put me on that screen.
One time, J Farm had one shadow Bellsprout, and he needed a shadow Victory Bell for a video, and he maxed it out and put it to 1500, and then he purified it.
That happened to me. That happened to me. Oh my god.
So pissed.
I was furious.
I had a great IV like Shadow Oddish that could be a great Bioplume for Rose Cup. And then I purified it by accident because it's supposed to be where like the power up button is, and I just kind of sat there for like a good 10 minutes going like, I was losing my shit, dude.
All right. Well, we've been going for a bit now. Let me in closing, I want to give everyone a chance to kind of just, if they, any points they want to make on what we've talked about today, or just, tell us about your channel or anything that you guys got cooking right now. You got events coming up. You got, anything that you're doing, please, let us know. But let's go back around the room. Let's start with HouseStark. So thank you, man, for coming on. What's the latest with you, man? Like how can people connect with you online?
Oh, first of all, thank you for having us. This is a really fun time. I guess the main like thing that I do is Twitter. So on Twitter, I'm HouseStark_93 on Twitter. And then on Twitch, I am HouseStark93 as well. But the main thing is just follow everyone that's here because you guys are all awesome. So,
Follow HouseStark. He's great.
these guys are the best. Like you guys heard tonight, how many great ideas were just like splurted out, and I can't be like I don't compare to these people. So. Yeah.
Don't worry, you'll win a GBL one eventually. To me,
Dude, my rating's way lower than yours.
Hero Vange needs everyone to know that his rating is lower than everyone else's. Let's just go.
That's my thing now.
But HouseStark, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, no problem.
All right, RamblingRabbit, why don't you tell us what's going on with Go Stadium, man? A lot, right?
A lot. So main things we're really plugging along right now are the day this is being recorded, about 12 hours ago, our website launched. We had an official website launch at stadium.gg. So you can check that out, or you can find links for Caleb and for HouseStark, our coaches, as long as with everybody else. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitch. I think we're on TikTok as well. There's a couple things up there on TikTok. So, I mean, you can find us just everywhere. So,
Well, all right. Well, that's awesome. No, I know that there's a lot going on at Go Stadium right now, and I'm psyched about the team tournaments. I think that's a lot of potential.
yeah, so we had 104 this time. So the first time we had like 130, then we've had over 100 each tournament when it comes to team tournaments. And
it's so awesome.
If we get, another extension on the Good Friend battles, or that becomes permanent, our next one is going to be huge. We have some big plans for that if we can get another one in. So
awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having everybody.
Awesome. TrainerRem, you were another one, man, that like, I saw you. I kept seeing your name all over the place, and then like I put a tweet out like, "Hey, I'm going to do the roundtable. Who should we get?" And you came highly recommended, man. A lot of people were shouting you out, and that's how I got turned on to your stuff, and that's why I reached out. So Thanks so much for being here, man.
Well, thank you for having me, dude. Like, that's actually kind of a shock because I haven't been making like any videos at all, like recently. So I don't know why I got so highly recommended, but I really appreciate those people. First, before we go into anything else, Twitter name trainer_REM, and my Twitch is TrainerRem, no underscore. But yeah, was there any like kind of question you asked me, or was that it?
No, man, just you got anything you're working on right now, or just getting through that sorceress grind?
Oh, dude, I've been trying to get to that sorceress grind forever. I'm probably gonna actually pause on GBL for a while because I've been getting too hard counter like the past 3 days. So I'm just gonna pause on that. I'm gonna help some people build their Sorcerer's Cup teams. So if anybody needs help making a team, just DM me or like just tweet something out, and I'll be like, okay, you might need this. Just test it out with me and see how it works. And if you beat my ass, then you're good.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks again for being here.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
And Caleb, man, why don't you got any parting words, or where can our community connect with you?
Yeah, so pretty easy. So my Twitter and YouTube is just Caleb Peng, Caleb with a C, and then Peng P-E-N-G. But yeah, I think overall, I really enjoyed the conversation we had. So thank you for having me on, and great to talk to everyone else here too. I would say that despite some issues that might happen with the game here or there, sometimes server issues or glitches or so forth, I think the community part is honestly the thing that always keeps me engaged with the community. And even if I'm tilted at the game at times, I still just enjoy chatting with people online on Discord or Twitter. I feel like I don't even have to play the game to have fun just talking to people on Twitter. I usually have to log off at work because I'm just sitting there reading through a bunch of Twitter threads about random stuff and random bantering. But that itself really has been what's kept me involved in this game and kept me really into it this whole time. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
Speediest Chief, another one that came highly recommended, and I was just like, I wanted people with diverse perspectives that, from, when you think of a creator, a lot of times you think of like, all right, what's the digital product, or what's the video, or what's the stream? And, as someone that loves throwing events, I think it was important to have someone that had some experience. So what do you think it's going to be, man? You think we're going to be, it's a year away? Like, you think it's season 3? Like,
yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, I think in terms of the pandemic, I think once there's a vaccine commercially available for everybody, I think things will go back to normal in a big way. Everybody's worried about a second wave, and we'll just kind of see what happens. But I really do love those in-person tournaments, and the Mega was an experience I'll remember forever. Like, it's so surreal because I'm on this show with you now, and I'm just so appreciative. I know I'm not really showing, I'm just trying to like stay together, because I was watching all of you guys a year ago. I grew up watching, not grew up, but I came up in Silverina watching content from a lot of people that are on this show. And it's just really, really cool that I'm like on the same panel. It's kind of surreal, But yeah, if you want to find me on YouTube, it's Speediest Chief 2. Make sure to include those eyes, because if you type Speediest Chef, it's a bunch of cooking videos. And there's probably more like Vange's speed with the coconuts, you might want to see that. On Twitter, I'm Chief2Speediest. And like HouseStark said, I mean, he's so humble, but nobody has pointed out that this man is the first guy to hit rank 10 in Go Battle League in Season 1. The first person in the world.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's amazing. All these people on the panel are amazing. Rem is our rage, our GBL rage spirit animal on Twitter. Check him out. I mean, Vange does the best meta breakdowns I've ever seen. I mean, everybody on this panel is great. Ali's a great streamer. The ghost seeding representation is so good. So again, just super honored to be a part of it, and thank you guys all so much.
Awesome, man. Dude,
Thank you.
Thank you. DeFi. Hi, DeFi. So
Hey.
happy. I'm so happy you're here. Like, I'm so glad you were DeFi was the first person I went to, and I was like, all right, I'm doing another roundtable. I was like, you were numero uno on the list. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so honored.
Awesome.
But yeah, if you're looking for me on Twitch or on YouTube or on Twitter, having a very odd username means that it's not very hard to find me. So DeFi250, DPHIE250, only person that's going to come up. And I
Awesome.
also do a little bit of non-GBL, non-Pokemon Go content on Twitch as well, because I think we all can feel a little burnt out on GBL and on Pokemon Go sometimes. So I'm really excited.
That's
I'm going
me,
to stream. Yep. I'm going to stream a little bit of the Sword and Shield DLC when it comes out. I just
Awesome.
played some Pokemon Mystery Dungeon just for fun. So I think
Excellent.
it's good to take a break every once in a while.
Hell yeah. Isle of Armor looks phenomenal.
I'm
Dude,
psyched.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Can't wait. Can't wait. J Farm.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
to me. Talk to me, man. How are you? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, man. It's a complete honor. Firstly, I want to tell the viewers that are listening to this, watching this, wherever you guys are watching it, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button.
Woohoo!
Because this man right here saved me at work from boredom. I listen to this podcast while I'm at work.
That's right. That's right. It'd get you through the day. Hell yeah. I appreciate that.
Anytime. But if you guys want to find me and ScrubLordDustin, we are at on YouTube at JFarm, and then we also have Twitch, JFarmakis. We stream every single day, pretty much. But if you guys want to find us, you guys can find us all there.
Awesome. And Dustin, you've I mean, you like I wish you would just make more videos of like doing the Pokemon sounds when they open their mouth on the screen. Like, bro, I like like videos autoplay, they just keep going, like looping. Bro, I swear to God, I just let it go. It would just kept going over and over. I was like, bro, I was pissing my pants. I was like, I need like the 10-hour version of this, like stat.
Yeah.
But,
Other people say I need Jesus. But that's funny.
I'm one of those people.
Well, thank you for being here, man. Anything you want to say? Any shout outs?
Shout out to the viewers and shout out to everyone here. It's awesome to be here with you guys. Like freaking HouseStark is amazing at PvP, and Caleb and Speedy and all you guys here. And it's amazing to be considered like amongst your peers. It's awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. And yeah, I guess John plugged in our social media. I'm ScrubLordDustin on Twitter, and make sure you give Lured Up Podcast some love too. And everybody here, check it, everyone.
We will. Allie. Hi.
Hello. I promise you, if you go to twitch.tv/AllieLuckey, I will be so much more hype than I am at this fine hour of 11:38 p.m. I can guarantee it practically. And I'm also on YouTube, Allie Luckey. Thank you so much for having me. Like I'm just in shock. It's partially because it's 11:38 p.m. and partially because I just cannot believe that I'm among this fabulous panel of human beings. So thank you so much. It's an amazing opportunity.
Awesome. No, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. I'm glad to have a strong Twitch presence. I thought that was super important. So awesome. Rock on. And my man Vange. Look at how stylish he is with those coconuts, man. It's like what can you say, man? Any final words? Any parting words?
I'm really happy that I finally got to finish like a piece of content with you, Ken.
I know, right?
It finally happened.
It happened.
We don't know yet. There's still time for stuff to go wrong.
Yeah, wait.
We won't know until it's online.
Everyone's levels sound really good. I'm going to hit record now.
I would cry. I would shower. Clutching a coconut.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
right now, I feel like it's too short. I wanted to talk with you guys a lot more. Like Caleb looks zen AF, right? He just, I wanted to talk with my.
It's the cat, man.
Fellow Sam. You know what that is, Caleb?
I have no idea. What's Sam?
No, a sexy Asian man.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I feel you there.
And I put my name in there. You know what? But yeah, I guess it's 1 hour. That's what we get. But I really wanted to talk with you guys a lot more. I keep up with your shit, man. I keep up with your shit. Actually, DeFi and RamblingRabbit, I haven't like seen anything yet from you guys, but I will, you know, check your guys' stuff out. And yeah, check me out on Hero Eats mukbang channel. Actually, that doesn't exist. I'm about to
Okay.
start a Twitch channel
Could tell if it
where
was
I
being
stream
serious.
anime waifu collector games. So if you like your waifus, you know, check that out. And you know, my side channel is Battle Hero. All right, I do PvP stuff.
You have any waifu like full body pillows?
No, dude, but I gotta start. I'm scared to get stuff shipped because it might contain COVID. I don't know.
Oh God.
Oh man. Well, thank you everyone for checking out the show. If you're on YouTube, if you're listening to this on YouTube or watching this on YouTube, please hit the notification bell, subscribe. I don't know, all that YouTube shit that I don't know anything about. Do that. And then if you're listening to this on in audio format, thank you so much for sticking through it. Check out the video form so you can see everybody's pretty faces, because everybody had great lighting and everything and funny backgrounds. It was awesome. But thank you guys so much. This has been the Lured Up Podcast Creator Roundtable for Pokemon Go PvP. I feel like I could do like a 10-hour long version of this, and it would just keep on going, and the backgrounds would get hilarious, more and more funny. But thank you to our panel. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone for being here, and we'll see you in the next battle. Thanks. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Hey
you.
guys.
This is awesome.